Yeah, it is. Mike Barnacle, it is dangerous, extraordinarily dangerous. One of the things that I think has protected us in the past is the fact that you have in Florida, you've got 67 counties, you have 67 election commissioners, supervisors of elections. They have each one of their approaches to doing the elections. They keep their machines secure. And it really does, because each one is responsible and is elected and responsible to keep those machines safe, to make sure that they're not rigged. My gosh, I mean, that's how the system works. Here, it's really unbelievable that Maricopa County and the idiots in the Arizona legislature are allowing a conspiracy theorist to gain custody of their voting machines without officials making sure they don't do something to make those voting machines less accurate in coming elections. But that's where we are.
Joe, let's underline multiple times that word, dangerous. This is both dangerous and destructive. Destructive to what? Destructive to the way our country is operated for well over 200 years. Destructive to our republic. Destructive to the concept of democracy. And this destruction is contagious now. Why is it contagious? Because it's being pushed and promoted nearly every single day by a former president of the United States who sits there, and the pathology of this man is such that I don't think he could walk out of any mental institution in America without being saying, come on back in here and sit down. We want to talk to you about your issues. This man has promoted the destruction of the existing government of the United States of America, led by President Joe Biden. And he has accomplices in this, including the minority leader of the House, Kevin McCarthy, including the minority whip of the House, Steve Scalise, and more than 140 other Republicans who on January 6th did what they did. They witnessed the threat to the Capitol. They witnessed the violence. They witnessed the death and destruction of objects within the Capitol that are of great important historical relevance. And then they turned around hours later on that same day and voted not to certify the legitimately elected president, Joseph R. Biden. And this continues each and every day. It continues as we talk about what's going on in Arizona. And people are right. The contagion here is going to be such that other states with Republican legislatures filled somewhat with people who say, that election may have been rigged after all, are going to look at this. It's got to stop, and I don't know that it will.
Well, I see the conspiracy theories. I have people sending them to me all the time. I walk through it. Every single conspiracy theory is easily disproven in about 2 or 3 minutes. Every single one. Every single one. And yet they don't want to go on Google. They don't want to know the truth. They want to know what's true to them. They want to know their truth. And their truth is this election was rigged. Well, why don't you just Google this? And why don't you just look at the election returns? I mean, I could tick down the list of conspiracy theories. They're ridiculous. At some point, I guess we need to do a package. We need to put it all together to show just how stupid these conspiracy theories are. And they really do. They go to the point of where... I don't think we have
a long enough show for
they,
that.
They go to the point, as Willie keeps bringing up, this bamboo group. This bamboo ninja who is saying bamboo is in the paper. And so China sent the ballots over and it's rigged. It's just such nonsense that they think Republicans running Arizona, Maricopa County, and Republicans running the Georgia election are going to rig those elections. And you look at the vote counts county by county, and it's just lazy and it's stupid. It's a lazy, stupid conspiracy theory. And I say it's lazy because all people would have to do is just do about 5 minutes of investigating when they see these lies spewed at them, and they would know the truth. But they don't want to know the truth. Bible verse where said people who could walk in darkness and light, and they could even know the difference between darkness and light and still choose darkness. That's what's happening here. People could know the difference between the truth and the lies. They don't want you to tell them the truth. They don't want to investigate for 5 minutes. They want to wallow in the lie that allows them to think horrible things about American democracy, that allows them to do things that are far worse than desecrating the American flag. That's far worse than kneeling on sidelines before football games. What they're doing is they're desecrating democracy. They're desecrating American institutions. They're desecrating all the things that the American flag is a symbol of. So you will fight to the death for the symbol. You just won't give a damn for a second about the thing that symbol stands for. Madisonian democracy, the Constitution of the United States, the People's House, the center of democracy, not just in America, but across the globe. So you're going to freak out over somebody not paying enough respect for a symbol. But you're just going to, I'll just say, throw dirt all over everything that symbol represents. And you do it every day.
And this is January 6th.
You do it this is not about Joe Biden. This stopped being about Joe Biden a long time ago. This is about you. This is about you playing in to what every one of our enemies wants you to play into. That American democracy is not worth being trusted. That American democracy is no different than Russia. If you believe that, I will say to you what many of you said in the 1960s. America, love it or leave it. If you don't have respect in American democracy anymore, if you don't respect Madisonian checks and balances, if your guy doesn't win, if that's the new rules of engagement for this great republic, then just leave our country. Because you're unworthy of it. And there are millions of immigrants who will come here and raise their right hand and buy into the creed and believe that we are exceptional, that believe American democracy is the greatest government on the face of the earth. And they will do it proudly. They will salute the flag proudly. And most importantly, they will fight for what that flag represents while you shame yourself. While you disgrace yourself, while you disgrace our country in the eyes of the world. Yes, this is all on you. Get the facts, live in the light, follow the truth, and love this country, and stop this. Or leave. Or leave. If you're going to believe a reality TV show host's lies about the American Republic, is desecration of American exceptionalism, then just get the hell out. We don't want you here. That's all I got to say.
You couldn't have said it better.
Well, thank you.
No, I really appreciate that.
I appreciate it.
In our next hour, we're going to dig into the new Washington Post reporting on how Trump loyalists across the country, inspired by an Arizona recount, are pushing to revisit election results in a number of other states.